what I do want to talk about is this new waistband out, and it's called the V-band. The V-band. And this is so cute. Look at this. And I'm going to show you how to do that, and I'm going to show you how to do the pattern work to that. Now, for us women who do have big tummies, this is the way to go because it's so much more flattering to have that waistband come down to a V rather than it going straight horizontal across. It's just incredibly flattering, especially if you like to tuck a little shirt in. You can see that that's just a really nice look to have it come down in the front. All right, so let's look at the pattern work for this and make sure we understand how to do it. I'm going to go on to my next page back here. And we're going to start again with the same exact waistband. Now, in this case, I'm actually going to trace the waistband because we are going to have to, and I would recommend you trace the waistband. You're not going to want to cut this waistband. And just know that my tracings are not exact because they don't need to be, but you all know. Now, this is center back that's on a fold. You're not going to do that. You're going to actually add a 3/8 inch seam allowance. And you're going to not cut it on the fold, and you're only going to cut one because the only thing we need on this waistband is the back. The front we're going to change. So I'll need a waistband to go across the back, but I don't need a waistband to go in the front, so there's no reason to cut it on the fold. So I'm going to take away the fold, I'm going to now cut a seam allowance, and I only cut one. Okay, then what I'm going to do is I'm going to trace this again because that's for my back. This is going to be my back. And I'm going to trace this again to make my front waistband. And because, again, I'm not cutting it on the fold, I'm going to take away this line and I'm going to add a seam allowance down here. Now you could just trace that pattern piece. That probably would have been smarter, but I'm not that smart. Okay, then what I want you to see is the front waistband doesn't go all the way to the sides. The front waistband stops, maybe a couple inches. And don't feel like you've got to get this perfect. You'd be surprised how cute it will be, even if you just get it close. So I'm actually going to not do the whole waistband. I'm going to have it stop somewhere like right in here. And also keep in mind that this is folded. So I'm going to take it to be half the width. So I'm going to draw a line that goes from here to there, and this is going to be the styling of my waistband. That's what my waistband's going to look like. And I'm actually going to cut it out so that you can kind of see what the net result is and how I get to the final product, just so you can visualize all this stuff. Now this line right here, what I'm going to do is I'm going to place it on the fold. And if you're confused, just hang on, we'll get it here. The waistband already has my seam allowance included, so I don't need to worry about adding seam allowance. And this section of the waistband's on the fold. So I'm going to cut two of those. And I cut two on fold, and actually this is my waistband that I came up with. And what I want to show you, this is the side seam. This is going to sew into the side right here, and if you notice, it's just going to go shorter, 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 and taper to nothing. This is on the fold, so when I cut it, I already put that on the fold, and I create that waistband. But I do two of them, so you notice the one folds in way down to here and disappears to nothing, and this one overlaps there. Now what I'm going to show you is to do the same method. I'll show you how to sew it in just a minute, but I want to show you different colors, different color fabrics, because this is really fun. And it really is fun to start coordinating tops and all kinds of things. And you can see with the different fabrics where it starts and stops. So this is the V front, same V front, but I've done two different colors now. So I did the camouflage in one, and I picked up the beige in one. So you can see that it's the same pattern. Starts here, tapers to nothing over there. And I'm going to actually create now this waistband first. So I put these two together. Don't put it all the way to the end. let's say you're going to cut 2 of these. I'm going to actually use both of these so you can see. Let's say these are both made. I'm going to cut them to where they're duplicates of one another. Okay, so I've got 2 pieces. I've got 2. I'm going to cut 2 on the fold. And I'm going to put them together like this. And one's going to taper off. And when I overlap them, they're going to actually equal the same length that my original waistband did. So if they need to be longer, pull them apart. If they need to be shorter, push them together. And that's how you'll know exactly how much that they need to overlap. Keep in mind that this up here is on the fold, so that edge is already finished. And I would just stitch these together. There's no elastic in the front of this waistband. The elastic is only going to be in the back of the waistband. So I'm going to sew this end onto the back, and I'm elastic only into the back of the waistband. This actually, you don't need elastic throughout the whole waistband. I know that's kind of weird to all of us who are used to elastic waist, but you actually don't need an elastic in the very front. So go ahead and create these 2 pieces, then sew it to the back waistband. And you can see it's going to sew in there. And then just put the elastic in the back, and only in the back, and your pant will hold up fine. And once you've created this whole entire waistband, sew that to the top of the yoga pant, and you'll have the V front.